I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. And I'd like to welcome Rockface Lionheart. Hi.
Hello.
All right, please
How are
introduce
you?
yourself to everybody. I'm good. Let everybody know how good you are.
My name is Rockface Lionheart. I'm a Glacy VTuber over on Twitch, and I like playing video games.
So when did you get started with the VTuber thing?
Oh, officially, it was just last year, sometime during the summer, but it wasn't my first attempt at being a VTuber, being a streamer.
Okay,
But
was it
officially, it
did
was the last summer.
okay? And so did you have a couple of dips into the water and weren't quite comfortable with it yet?
Yeah, I had a few dips into the water many times throughout my life, I would say, but nothing ever really stuck and captivated me.
Mm,
Um, I never really was able to find myself
mm,
until just last year
mm,
when I joined a community and I started to get really close to people and I started to just learn more about things and more about myself. And from this community is how I even learned um, that about myself being a transgender woman.
mm. And yeah, I'm nodding my head because it's you can hear it obviously. You can hear me nodding my head, but
Oh yeah.
it's great that you've been able to do that. That you've been able to find that, and I hear about people kind of um, getting into this and kind of blossoming a little bit, and or becoming more of themselves. And it sounds like that's really what's happened to you.
Yeah, 100%. I was kind of stuck in just like my day-to-day life for several years.
Hmm.
Um, and really my only escape from that just average life that I didn't care about was at night when I got to be by myself and I would watch VTubers because I've been watching VTubers ever since even Iron Mouse was little, way
Hmm.
before she joined VShojo, just still tiny streamer. Like I've been watching for years now,
Yeah.
and that was like the only time that for a while, that I really felt happy
Mm.
was
Happy.
being part of the
Yeah.
community, and then over years things grew and I found my own community
Yeah.
and I've learned to be myself.
Did was it not just being happy, but also feeling like you were a part of a group, um, kind of an acceptance or a for lack of a better word, being a part of a family type of thing?
Yes, when I joined the that community last year, yeah, that there was happiness, there was acceptance, there was family that I didn't know that I needed in life.
Mm. Yeah, that's great. As I really hope that folks are able to find that here because I know that you can always look and find the worst parts of everything if you really want to. And
Easily.
it can find you still if and it's not your fault if it does. But it's good to
Mhm.
know that there's been some place here where you can be comfortable being you. Um, and I hope that's been your experience.
100%, yeah.
Mm, that's wonderful. So when you did finally break through, was there any particular instance or moment or event that got you over the mountain?
Um, so it would have been probably the first time that I was ever referred to with my preferred pronouns of she, her. The
Mm,
first time that I heard that, there was just all these clicks of gears in my head, and I was like, this this is it. This is home. This is where I want to be.
Mm. And just that's a lot of folks. I'm never going to know what you've been through to get to this point. It's just not
Mhm.
something. I'm not going to be able to tread in your shoes in it, but I'm trying to imagine the um, feeling, the validation that must have gone through you when that happened. Um, am I hitting the right word with validation?
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. But also validation feels like too small of a word, but I
Oh,
also don't know what would be the right word. It's just a feeling that could only occur once in a lifetime.
mm,
Like
discovery.
the feeling of
Yeah,
exactly discovery,
yeah.
like it's the same feeling of like standing at the end of the wedding aisle on your wedding day, right? It's just a feeling that you could only really capture once.
Mm, yeah. That's really something. That's really something. And so has that carried over to your off-screen life?
I would say so. Yeah, actually, just a few weeks ago, one of my friends in real life looked at me and was like, "Rockface, you're happier now from the first time I met you like 3 years ago. You've changed as a person. You've begun to be more yourself and just comfortable with life."
Mm,
And it's something that I didn't even realize I had started doing until he had mentioned it, and he kind of gave me a few examples of things, and I was like, "Wow, I'm not the same person that I was 3 years ago."
mm. Uh, Yeah, I'm forgive me for asking these questions, and I'm absolutely fascinated because
Yeah, you're good.
it's a situation that a lot of people aren't going to be able to relate to or know what you've gone through to this point and how much this really means to you.
Yeah.
But it is obvious that it meant so much, and I'm glad that you were able to have that eureka moment
Yeah, exactly.
and be able to come into something. 25 years ago, this didn't exist, where something like that could have happened for you. You'd have to go somewhere else and try to find a muddier way of getting there. Um, how does that affect you now, continuing to stream that you've already hit such a gigantic goal? I mean, what everything else has got to pale to that, right?
It was my discovery of myself and who I want to be, who I am. That that wasn't so much a goal. That was the starting point.
Mm, okay.
Everything has been goals since, I would say.
Ah, okay. I understand that. I understand that. So it's but you've proven it to yourself.
Mhm.
You don't. I mean, is it a question now of proving it to everybody else too, or are you now confident enough to where you don't need to prove it to anybody else?
Um, End of the day, I'm just me.
Mm.
I am who I am. I don't feel the need to prove it. I feel as though you can accept it or move on, kind of thing.
Oh, I like that. There's plenty of other things to do than stand in front of me in my way.
Exactly.
Go find one. Oh, that is an absolutely great thing to hear. I'm sorry it took you that long, because I imagine there's a lot of things that I'm not going to ask you about that happened in the meantime. But
It was
now
a
that
long
you're
10-year journey.
yeah, but now that you're here and
Mm.
you're established in the channel, has it been easy for you this time to connect with an audience and really be yourself with this avatar?
Yes, 100%. Because all my previous attempts, I would say They ended in failures.
Mm.
I think I tried maybe 3, 4 times prior, and I was never able to establish any goals of really finding community, finding viewership, anything like that. But then with this last attempt where I went into it knowing who I am,
Mhm.
it it fell into place easier. I have found people that I connect with, people that are there to help me move forward, that I want to help move forward. I've found viewership of people that want to come back and see me, who, whenever I have a bad day, reach out to me and say, "Hey, is everything okay? I hope you're doing better." When even like when I'm late to stream, they're like, "Oh, what's going on? What are you okay? What's up, Rockface?"
That's that's just wonderful. I mean, I hope you can hear me laughing on this end because that's 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 just a great thing to have happen, and I'm glad you've been able to achieve that
Yeah, and
after a
I
battle.
wholeheartedly attribute it to just being being and knowing who I am and presenting that on my stream to my community. I feel as though the way that I present myself now, there doesn't seem to be some sort of veil, some sort of cover, uh, lurking, murking who you're watching,
Mm,
because now I'm me.
that's right. That's right. This that this format gives you that chance to, um, and I've used it before, be more of you than you would normally to a person out in the street.
Yeah,
Um, you get you. It's the avatar is a little bit of a shield, but it also is a representation of what you want to be. Um, I again
I'll
not being
agree
a.
to that. Like, it's a shield, it's an accurate representation, but the way that I phrased it, the first time that I looked at my model,
Hmm.
I put it on my center screen because I have 3 monitors, but
Yeah.
I put it on my center screen. I had everything set up, and I was in a call with a friend. And the first thing that I said was, "This is a mirror I love to look at."
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, it really does sound like this has been just this last time around has been it, more than you wanted, more than you thought maybe that would happen. Um,
Yeah,
which is wonderful.
100%.
Yeah,
I
it really
I
is.
couldn't be happier.
It really is. And the your community has obviously been accepting, right? And
Mhm.
just said here you are. Uh, I'm here for you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's great. That's wonderful. Um, so with this, have you been able to do a lot of work with other VTubers since you've been on uh, here recently?
I've gotten to work with a few VTubers. One of my close friends is also a VTuber, and we kind of went into this attempt together.
Uh-huh.
I have another friend who actually just recently became a PNG tuber,
Mm.
and then another person that's been on your show a few times now. I believe 2 times. Corruption,
Oh, three times. Are
three
you are
times.
you kidding? I can't keep corruption in just one or two shows.
They're absolutely fantastic,
And
and
they're wonderful.
it's actually Sin's community who was the one that I was referring to earlier that accepted me, and
Yeah,
Sin was the first one that used my pronouns.
yeah,
They're my hero.
yeah. It's Sin has really come a long way in when they were on our first show, the very first one, the first person who said yes, and then was on number 100, and then on again here recently. It's without Sin, this show would never have happened. Wouldn't we wouldn't be on
Without
number.
Sin, I might not have ever happened.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, that's a lot of pressure we're putting on Sin. Oh, they can handle it,
I think so.
and more. But this having that type of support Was that kind of alien to you when you got into it, and suddenly you had a little wind beneath your wings?
Yeah, it was. Uh, I don't really have too many fancy words to say, but just unexpected.
Mm.
It was special because when I first started getting my model and everything like that, I was fairly new to being part of communities, really.
Yeah.
But I still remember uh, I was having a really good day. Sin went live and told them I had a really good day, and like I just got a piece of art for becoming a VTuber, and they were like, and show me the secret. I want to see. Let's DM, and they were just my hype person the whole way, and you know it, their their enthusiasm really helped keep me going.
Mm.
And
That's
then just everyone else around too that started to like all my IRL friends that know me that I got to see their enthusiasms, their support. It was really good.
that's excellent. That's excellent. Now that you're on, and I can tune in and lurk in the background, what am I going to see from your channel?
So on my channel, I do mostly RPG games. Couple, but I also kind of dabble outside of there. I usually do a Wednesday night Halo. It's my first playthrough of the series, so I'm kind of learning through Halo right now. I just beat Elden Ring actually the other day, but we're starting the DLC um, next week or so.
Okay.
And then I also do. I'm a huge Final Fantasy nerd. Like I could probably spend 8 hours just reciting lore of the series, just random nonsense lore. And the only reason why I'd stop is because I'd be too winded and I'll need a drink.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I do a bunch of that on the channel too.
I understand getting into it so much that you just kind of you look up and it's like 2 days later.
Yeah.
I
Oh
got
yeah, I've done that with Final Fantasy lore where it's like, oh wow, 6 hours passed by.
yes.
I feel like it's only been a 20-minute conversation.
Now I've done it with games like Fallout 3 and New Vegas and of course Stardew Valley, which I still have to stay away from. Otherwise, I will never do any other interviews or go to work again. And I have 30 save files from that game over the years.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Stardew's a game that I gotta get into.
No. Well, plan out a few weeks
Yeah? Okay, I'll definitely do that then.
because you'll be in there, and once you get all set up and rolling, and it's like, oh, I'll just do one more day, and something's happening here in a couple of days. I'll keep going, and then the daylight shows up.
Yeah.
It's that
Love
type of game.
addictive games like that.
Yeah.
Sims 4 did that to me the first day
Oh,
that I played. I was like, oh, I can do this? Oh, I can do
yes,
that?
yes, that type of game too. I I had one. Of course, I'm a million years old, so I would have the first. Um, and I did everything I could to kill off everybody in that game. But now they've added so
Oh, the
many
magic
things.
of Sims.
Yeah, they've had so many things to it now that there's just too many different ways to kill people. And I don't know if I'd have enough time.
You
I,
always got to do the classic swimming pool, though.
oh yeah,
That's
that was one of the first ones I did. I had annoying neighbors come over and took out that ladder, and then yep, sit there and watched them, and well, their family cried. Oh, it was
one of the
it's
few games you can really let your evil tendencies out and
oh
never pay
yeah,
repercussion.
yeah. One of my favorite things to do was uh, have them in a room with a bed, but they have like a pinball machine they couldn't get to, so they never could sleep.
Nice.
Wow, yeah, very evil, but it's good that my evil is pointed in that direction because I'm probably too lazy to do anywhere else. Um, so what would you like to do with the channel now that you've got started and you're off to a tremendous start so far? Have you got any big plans this year?
For this year, I'm kind of just going with the flow.
Mm,
At some point, I have a bit of a secret goal right now.
Ooh.
It's not really out there. I'm gonna keep on keeping it a secret until I reach that goal. But once I
Mm.
hit that goal, I will be dabbling my hands into Final Fantasy VIII speedruns on stream.
Ooh, okay. Speed run stuff. So
Yeah.
speed runs as far as doing it legitimately or doing it with cheats or
I'd probably dabble in legitimate speedrun
ah.
for Final Fantasy VIII, but I also wouldn't be opposed to checking out the more illegitimate ways, just for fun little like
Oh, of course.
breaks almost, I guess.
Of course, of course. No one else uses them either. I mean, it's just they're just there. It's
Exactly.
the old pro wrestling thing. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. That helps you get through to the end.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, that's always something I never could do because I'd always get too frustrated and mess it up and but that must mean you've already enjoyed that game quite a bit.
Oh my goodness, Final Fantasy VIII. There's probably few games that rival how many times I've beaten that.
Mm.
I probably beat it on the PS1 30 times, the PS4 probably another 40.
Wow. So
Yeah,
you must be ready
I
for
got
the
to the
speed
point where
runs.
I've never actually tried a speed run, so it'll be like a whole new experience. But like there I used to just love the game so much. I would do two playthroughs in a day if I
Mm.
had the time.
Wow. That that's not a small game.
No, no,
Yeah.
it isn't, but
Mm. Yeah.
I would try my best to do that. At least one.
Yeah.
I try to get through it in a day.
Well, the if you I would imagine it's like the if it was a game that you were prepared for the next thing, that it might make it a little easier if you're prepared for the
Mhm.
next task and you know what was coming next. You knew where stuff was hidden and knew where the maps were to go and that sort of thing. Might make it a little easier. Um,
Yeah, and Final Fantasy VIII, that's I think I got that. I think I could do it.
you can have the badge of expert at that. I imagine you won that by now. Is there any other game you'd
If
want
not,
to
I'll be
try
going
that
for
with?
it. Um, any other speed runs I'd be willing to do? Probably Kingdom Hearts 2.
Mm.
Uh, I love that game. That was my childhood game growing up, and that's actually a game that I'm currently doing a bunch of research into speedruns for.
Mm.
So I actually know speedruns about that game more than I do 8.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing that in the future. Yeah, let us know when that comes up.
Oh, definitely.
Any different types of streams? So you want to obviously you're doing the gaming streams, but there's other different types out there. Some were using a hand cam, some not. Are you comfortable enough for something like that?
Hand cam, probably not right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be fully opposed to it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do enjoy my Magic the Gathering, so I think I could probably find some people that'd be down to do something like that with.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I enjoy watching people play. I have no idea what's going on.
oh, I was taught by a pro player
Mm,
in my area,
yeah.
so
So
I know a
you
good
know what's
couple
going on.
things. Yeah,
You know why that card exploded on the outside there. I don't, but
exactly.
it's fun to watch for me because I was always into sports and things and anything with any type of competitive strategy, and to see somebody try to work a strategy against somebody else, no matter what the sport it is or the game, even if I don't know the rules, is interesting to me. And and then when it
Yeah, and Magic has so many rules.
ah there's I hear that there are cards you can't use anymore. There's
Yep.
overpowered things and
Oh yeah, there's so many formats, and each format has its own rulings and banned card list, and
mm,
it gets crazy.
yeah, it seems kind of beyond the point if you have a banned card list, doesn't it? Um, but I
Yeah,
guess
that's why I like the restricted
yeah.
more, where it's just you can have one copy of instead of four. I like
Okay.
that format more.
the card of win instantly card.
Pretty much,
You
yeah.
you only have one of those. Um, so, are there any other card games that you're into besides that, or is that the main one?
That's the main card game that I'm into, but I'm also a Dungeons and Dragons
Mm.
dungeon master.
Oh yes, yes.
In my free time, I dabble in writing. I have a uh, like a 5 year goal, maybe 10 year goal, depending on things. But I actually want to become a published writer. That's one of
Oh,
my things that I want
go
to do.
do it, do it, do it, do it. Do one for me.
Definitely will, definitely will.
Because I'm one of those guys who's got everything written in their head but doesn't want to write it down and actually type it into something. Like yeah,
I'm a
that
bit of both.
yeah. I'm glad that
I have so
somebody
many
is.
stories in my head, and only some of them are written, but I'm working on it. I'm getting through it. I love writing dark fantasy. That's my
Oh,
genre.
that's neat. That's excellent. I mean, here you've got a chance now to show everybody your talents, and
Exactly.
and I envy your ability to do that for one, because it just sits in my head and rots because I don't have the courage to do it. Um, but the chance that you have now to do this, and knowing that 20 years ago that wouldn't have been here, um, you've kind of come along at the right time for this to. Although you fought for a long time to get here, here
Mhm.
is the chance you have to do this. In a way, it's pretty fortuitous, I guess.
Yeah, I I won't deny that I'm a lucky girl.
Definitely. I mean, 20 years ago, you would have been typing on text, and it doesn't quite come out the same when you do it
Yeah.
that way. But here, I'm just really glad that everything seems to be on the up for you. Has it been everything you thought it would be this time around? Have you has it been all positive, or has there been any setbacks for you?
Um, Biggest setback would be just the fact that I currently work in a job industry where I can wake up one day and just be told you're going out of town for 3 weeks, and
I
I just kind of got to deal with that.
Oh yes, yeah.
Uh, but other than that, it's just been a lot of positives. I've met just fantastic people, people that I now can't imagine, going without.
Oh, that's
It's like
just
how did I live my life without these people?
that is that is so wonderful. That is so wonderful. I'm very happy for you. I really am.
Thank you.
It's I don't think people understand the courage that it takes sometimes to be yourself. Um,
Yeah, it's a tough one because it's kind of a philosophical question in my opinion. Who are you is
mm,
what you're trying to answer, right?
yeah, absolutely. And
You can define it as I'm a person, I'm a human, I'm a boy, I'm a girl,
mm,
but it's deeper than that.
and then not only I mean, it's hard enough for yourself, but to feel like you're accepted for that, and you're part of a community, and you don't have to hide anything. You don't have to explain yourself to everybody that you meet. Um,
Yeah.
that's another thing that the average person is not going to have to deal with. It also takes a lot of grit and determination. Um, so
Mhm.
anyway, my hat's off to you for that and getting where you are
Thank you.
now. That's a journey that I'm not going to be taking, and I wouldn't have had the courage to do it if I did. Um, but that said, do you kind of view what you're doing now as maybe, hopefully, being a trailblazer for somebody else?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I would be, huh?
What?
I'm a representative of the LGBTQ community.
Hmm.
I'm a representative of small streamer community, VTuber community, um, and I guess I would be a trailblazer. Yeah, never
Yeah.
really thought of it that way.
Well, congratulations. Now I put that
Thank
on
you.
your shoulders. But it would be something, I imagine, if someone comes up to you here in a few months, a year or so, and says, you know, I saw what you were doing and it helped me do what I'm doing. What would that do to you?
It would. hmm, It would mean the just the absolute world to me that I helped someone like that. That I was able to set things up so that way they could be some whatever they want to be.
Mm,
It'd be very important. It'd be life changing to hear.
well, don't be surprised if it doesn't happen. Uh, it it's quite a I'm trying to find the right word. I don't like using the wrong words. That's a quirk I have. Uh, Uplifting tale
Yeah,
that that you bring, and the perseverance and what you've had to go through to get here, and the fact now that you can do this with a smile on your face, enjoy where you're at, keep going in the future with what you got going, and know that there's people out there who are enjoying you for being you.
thank you.
I'm
Yeah,
very happy for you, and I anything I can do to help it go continue, let me know. I'm not worth that whole lot, but I can give it. I can at least say go from the sidelines.
and hey, that means a lot to me still.
Well, we're going to have all the links that we've got for you up on the description for the interview. Um, Thank you so much for coming on, and I want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And I know there's a lot more to come from Rockface Lionheart here, and we're gonna hear a lot more. And folks, you need to tune in to see what she's got going on. We'll have all those links in the description, and we're gonna have to have you back soon because I want to hear what's going on with you in the future. So please keep me updated, okay?
100%. You got it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.